Hey there, Managed Shooters. I'm Courtney Johnson from ManagedShooter.com. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Making a Shooting Horse. We're heading into fall and winter here in the Inland Northwest, and it's very difficult to ride this time of year unless you have an indoor arena. So I am fortunate enough to live just down the road from a boarding facility that has an indoor arena, and they host weekly team pinning, calf roping, team roping, and barrel racing practices. So tomorrow I'm going to be taking Stella to a barrel racing jackpot / practice. And today I'm just going to be spending some time in my arena at home, legging her up and getting her ready for the barrel pattern. It's not going to be anything super strenuous. I just want to make sure she's comfortable going around the barrels and kind of has the basic idea. She's really good at flying lean changes and listening to directions and following cues, so I don't think this is going to be a huge stretch for her. But again, this is one of those life experiences that she's never had, and so it's going to be great for her to go. She's got to go by herself. She's not going to go with my other horse, Copper, and she's going to be around other horses that she's never seen before in a facility she's never been to before in a completely new environment doing something that's not managed shooting. So for her, this should be a really great life experience. So like I said, today we're just gonna leg her up a little bit, get her ready to go, and then tomorrow we'll hook up after work and just haul down the road and get that little barrel practice jackpot in for her life experiences. After a good warm-up, I'm going to start off trotting with Stella. I've worked barrels with Stella just one other time, but it wasn't really a serious workout with barrels, so this is really her first serious workout, and when we started to add some speed, we had a little bit of issue. So I'm just correcting her and asking her to do it again, looking for just even 1% improvement each time. When I get that little 1% improvement, I give her a little rest, and then I go back and ask for some more. Each time I'm going through, she's getting better and better, and so once she gives me a really nice solid run, then I just quit on her. I want to end on a high note, and as soon as I'm done, I'm going to undress her, which means that I'm going to loosen her cinch, I'm going to take her bridle off, and I'm going to take off her splint boots and bell boots as a reward for her doing a really nice job. So it's the day of the barrel racing practice / jackpot, and Stella and I are at the facility. She is all tacked up and ready to go and just munching on her Hey Chicks Hey Net, you can see there. And today's goal is to just have a successful confidence building ride. A lot like the trail rides we've been doing, this is just another venue for her to have some positive life experiences, and so today that's the goal. I know she's gonna be a little nervous and a little worried about what's going on, especially when it's her turn to go out there. So we're gonna do some time onlys first, and then they're gonna start the jackpot after that. So hopefully she will do great, and this will be a good experience for her. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm keeping her mind engaged as well as her body, because I know that she's gonna be a little bit nervous. So here we go. Hopefully it goes great. This is a really nice facility, and they always keep the tractor down there, and then there's some roping chutes as well, and there's people on the side that are watching. So I'm going to make sure Stella gets a chance to check all that out. It's probably not going to be a big deal, but I don't want it to be an issue at all, so I'm just going to go ahead and let her check it out. She did a great job checking out all these things. She snorted a little bit at the roping dummies and at the tires on the tractor, but not a big deal at all. The next challenge was when everybody was warming up, and as most of you know, this can be a little bit of a chaotic time, and I could really feel Stella starting to tense up underneath me, so my job was to transfer my calm energy to her and really just help her feel calm, safe, and secure, and she did a great job. After we had a warm-up session, we got a chance to just kind of hang out and relax and watch some other people do some time onlys. The thing I really liked about Stella during this time was that she completely and totally relaxed. She was watching and paying attention, but she wasn't nervous, she wasn't excited, she wasn't tense, but it was nice to see her just relax. We did several time onlys, but this was our very last one that we did, and she did a pretty nice job. Now, I know it's not perfect. This is her third time running barrels ever, and I am not an experienced barrel racer by any means. But the great thing about it is that she's calm and she's listening to my little corrections as she goes through this pattern. So I was pretty happy with this being our final time only. Alright, so we've done a couple time onlys. We did a few at a trot and a lope, and Stella did great on all of those, so I'm going to leave her alone until it's time for the jackpot to actually begin. I've taken her bridle off, loosened her cinch, and let her have a snack back at her hay net there. So she knows that when she does a good job, she gets to have a break. So she'll get to rest and relax a little bit before we get started again. And then I think we're gonna have a real positive experience. She did a pretty good job. So this was our run in the Jackpot itself, and there were a couple other elements that were added once the Jackpot started. There was some music and there was an announcer. I call Stella my fire-breathing dragon, and when we get in a situation where there's an announcer and music, that fire-breathing dragon comes out. And that's not always a bad thing, but this was the first time we've really been able to contain it and to channel that energy into something positive, and it made her a real pleasure to ride. So as soon as I got done riding Stella, I immediately got off and I undressed her, which means that I took off her bridle and her bell boots and her splint boots, and I loosened her cinch. This is just a nice little reward for a job well done. It wasn't a spectacular run, it wasn't amazingly fast, but it was cool, calm, and collected, which is exactly what I wanted from her. So all in all, I'm really happy with how this little outing went. Thank you for checking out this episode of Making a Shooting Horse. If you want to see more episodes like this or find out more about managed shooting, be sure to visit managedshooter.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Courtney Johnson, and we'll see you next time. .com, and thank you for turning it that way so she's... Does that taste good? Numbers? Our very first barrel race. Ooh, I look like Beyonce one day. And so today I'm just being in a little bit of an event for her. So the real